How do you win trust? So to give the wow factor or to build a relationship, we talk about know, like, trust, don't we? And winning trust sounds incredibly difficult, particularly if you're going to be talking to complete strangers. How on earth do you win your trust? Well, there are some key principles here that you can follow that build trust or build a trusting relationship. Now, the obvious one is to be honest, isn't it? To always be honest with people. So if you don't know the answer to something, say you don't know the answer to it, but that you'll get back to them later. To be honest about the results that your program might produce. To be honest about what it will take from them to get those results. Not to build false hope in people, because particularly in the diet industry, they've been given so much false hope in the past that while we don't want to depress people, we also don't want to promise magic pills and shakes, because it's a bit like the guy selling guru blueprints. People fall for it, but it leaves a nasty taste in their mouth afterwards. So be honest, be completely open, is another way to build trust. Other less sort of obvious ways maybe, or things that you maybe don't think about quite so much, are things like being polite to people. Always polite. So that kind of knocks on the head all the trolling, if you like. Show respect. You know, again, probably knocks on the head all the trolling. Say what you will do and then do it. I mean, that sounds ridiculously simple, but the amount of people I know who promise to do stuff and then don't do it in the time they say they were going to do it, or just never do it. And that leads to this lack of trust in them in the future, that you don't believe they're reliable. And the definition of trust is a faith of the reliability of the person or the service or the product. So you have a faith when you purchase something in the reliability of that person, that service, that product. And obviously, as soon as you start to let people down, you're breaking that faith, you're breaking that trust. Now, a lot of you will say, well, I do all these things. Oh, another one, just before I forget, to give before you ask for something. So that sort of comes back to your content marketing and, you know, giving to people and giving your time to them before you ask for something in return. Right. So a lot of you will be saying, well, I do all those things and, you know, people don't necessarily trust me. But do you? You could do an audit to make sure that you do it. I see on my timeline, because, you know, I have a lot of friends, and the majority, funnily enough, are fit pros. Loads and loads of fit pros, if they're sick one day, they literally shove a message up on Facebook. Oh, can you let everyone know classes tonight are cancelled? Sorry, this is your class. People have paid for it. And you're just going to put a general message on Facebook, can you let everyone know? You should have everybody's telephone number. You should be able to text everybody, email everybody, messenger everybody. If you have to do 3 different messages for 3 different, you know, to each person, and you've got 50 people booked in the class, that's what you should be doing. This is your service, this is your trust, this is your reliability, this is your delivering on your promise. A general message on Facebook isn't good enough. Imagine you're the person who rocks up and the class has been cancelled. Imagine how you feel then. It may only have been a £4 class, but you've gone out of your way to get to that location, to turn up, to be there, to be ready to do the class, and then somebody hasn't turned up, whether they're ill or not, or an emergency's happened or not, and they have sympathy with that. Their time has been wasted. And a previous video talked about wasting people's time with your marketing, being constant sales and pitch and not giving anything of value. We also don't want to waste their time with your product and your service. So, you know, you may believe that you do everything to build trust, but if you do an audit and give yourself a scorecard on the things that have just been mentioned for every single transaction you do, that you make sure that every time you talk on social media, that every time you email someone, that every time you sell them something, that you can give yourself a high score on those different factors: the openness, the honesty, the reliability, the giving before you're receiving, the I can't remember the other 2 now, the politeness. Give yourself a score for it, and then see how your scorecard's adding up and see where you can improve. Okay, that's it.